You all wanted it, so here it is. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with our new Tuesday series for the time being, Dragon Age Absolution. This is a series that was on our recent poll that Buddy Daddies won. And there were a couple people who made very vocal that they voted for this and that they had wished that this had won. But Buddy Daddies had the most votes, so I went with that, of course. Although, because this got some, vocal attention, I decided, okay, people want this, and I'm interested in getting to it anyway, obviously, so let's bring it in when we're able to. And Big City Greens, we finished Season 1, so I decided to bring this in this slot. And yeah, I'm definitely excited to see this, because if you've been paying attention to the gaming channel at all, I have been playing through Dragon Age the Veilguard for the first time. It's my first real Dragon Age playthrough. I've played a little bit of, I want to say, Origins, I think, but I never got far into it. And so this was my first time actually playing a Dragon Age game. And I'm loving it. It's fantastic. Just an absolute joy of a game. And so this game, or this series rather, takes place before the events of Veilguard, but after the events of the previous game, Dragon Age Inquisition, including the DLCs. I do know that, and I know there is specifically a Kunari character as one of the main group. I assume, though, that the main group probably includes pretty much every race and class you can choose, so that's not a surprise to me. We're gonna have a Canary, we're gonna have an elf, we're gonna have a human, we're going to have a dwarf. I just assume we're gonna have a bit of everything. So that's rather exciting. But other than that, I don't know what this series is about. I don't know what the actual story is, where it takes place compared to the games, if there's notable lore for the games that are going to be involved. I don't know how it connects in any way. It is 6 episodes long, so it's a pretty short series. I don't know if there's any plans for a second season. I don't know if it was just meant to be a single season little additional bit of content for Dragon Age. I don't know. But this is what we've got, and I'm definitely excited to delve into this and see what it's like. So, that being said, we're going to do so. We're going to check it out and see what we have in store and just hope for the best. So, let's get into this and find out what it's like. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So I was looking up the cast here, because I especially wanted to look up Kimberly Brooks, who voices Miriam in this. And it's we definitely know her. She's Luna from the Hex Girls in Scooby-Doo. She was Buena Girl in Mucha Lucha. Barbara Gordon in the Batman Arkham games. Princess Allura from Voltron Legendary Defender. And Jasper in Steven Universe, among, notably other things. But it's that's a notable amount of stuff here. She was Cheetah in Wonder Woman Bloodlines. Let's see here. In terms of shows, she's been in Totally Spies, Static Shock, Teen Titans, The Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom, Chowder. She's a constant in South Park, apparently. Phineas and Ferb. Gravity Falls. Oh, she wasn't just Jasper in Steven Universe. She was also Malachite, Carnelian, Skinny Jasper. So she was a few characters. She's in the 2018 DuckTales series. She's in the Animaniacs reboot. I guess you could say reboot. She's Scara in the Owl House. That's a notable one. She's in Arcane. She's in the Cuphead show. The Boys Presents Diabolical. She's in Batman Caped Crusader. Then there's video game roles as well, including Ashley Williams from Mass Effect. She's in Dishonored, Halo 4, Infamous Second Son, Fallout 4, Far Cry 5. She's in a lot. Borderlands 4. But yeah, she's really well known. And obviously we know Matt Mercer, who was Fairbanks in this. Ashley Birch, who is known for playing Ellie in The Last of Us. But other things as Chloe Price in Life is Strange, Aloy in Horizon. No, she's not Ellie, I'm sorry. I was thinking of a different actress. But Enid in OKKO, Molly McGee, and the Rutile twins in Steven Universe, and so much more. No, I was thinking of someone else with Ellie. No, Ashley Birch. I'm thinking of Ashley Johnson. I get them confused a weird amount of times. I was thinking of the other Ashley. But yeah, this is Aloy. This is Enid, so on and so forth. And then you have Sumali Montero, who is Hera, who was in Dragon Age Inquisition. She's Yuna in Ghost of Tsushima. Let's see here. She's also in Fallout 4. She was Renee Montoya in Batman: The Enemy Within. She's been in... Oh, she was the voice on the radio in 10 Cloverfield Lane. She was in the Studio Ghibli movie Only Yesterday. She's Maria Santiago in The Loud House. Admiral Sonda in Voltron Legendary Defender. She was additional voices in Amphibia. She was in Cannon Busters. That's fun. She's Sharon McGee in The Ghost and Molly McGee. That's a big one for the channel and everything. And she's even in Vox Machina. Obviously, we know who Phil Lamar was. He was Roland in this. Lackland's voice actor, Keston John, doesn't have a page on here, so I'm assuming he maybe hasn't done a lot. Maybe a newer voice actor. So yeah. A pretty stacked cast, nonetheless. But let's actually talk about the episode. So, this feels like what it probably is. I talked about this in the pre-thoughts, and I mentioned that this is probably like more of a because it's only 6 episodes, a companion piece to the games, and that's why it's not like a full length, like longer series. And after watching this first episode, I definitely think that's the case because there's definitely a lot of discussion of things that would have very clearly happened in the games. There's a character mentioned who I think was in the games, but also apparently, oh God, what was his name? Matt Mercer's character, Fairbanks. He apparently was in Inquisition. Interestingly enough, um, but yeah, I feel like this is meant to be like a series for someone who has played the games and probably notably Inquisition, which I have not done. Of Veilguard's the only one I've played. Again, outside maybe a little bit of Origins, but I'm I'm going into this because of that from a very different perspective. And from my perspective going into this, just as a series, ignoring its connection to everything else, ignoring that it appears to be a companion piece to the games, it's rushed. This first episode felt like 2 or 3 episodes. I'd say 2 is probably fair. It felt like there was way too much being cramped into way too little of a time. Where we have these characters, this entire group of characters, and we just don't really learn anything about them. We're just kind of thrust into things. And we get some information as we go, like we find out Miriam was a slave and everything, and we kind of like get that she apparently, I guess due to the marking, was a high ranking slave or something, which means she would even be put above like guards or whatnot based on that one guard's reaction. But I don't know, something like that. um and we like get to see their personalities kind of shine at different points, like when we see Quidian go to the shop. But overall, it's it's not telling us anything. And there's some people who are really like, oh, but it's showing you, it's allowing you to learn everything through show, don't tell. It's like, it's not really doing that. And also, it's like, you have to tell some things. You have to, like, introduce characters, and none of the characters feel like they're actually introduced here. They're just kind of like, oh, let's just plop a character in here suddenly. There's a character, just push them into the show here. It doesn't feel like they're actually, again, introduced. They're not actually, like, naturally brought into the story. It's just like, oh, we're here, here's another character, now you've met them. And it just, I could not tell you anything except the base personalities of these characters. And again, the little bit we found out, mostly just about Miriam. Um, Miriam, is very tough, very defensive. She was a slave and she lives a very, hard life because of elven racism. And you could even tell, like, when she was being confronted by the Tevinters, like, she was very, very, like, I hate to use this term because of how a lot of people in fandom communities have used it, but it's an accurate term. She became very submissive. You notice how she started like looking down and like talking very like sweetly and kindly and non-confrontationally to them, and it's definitely like because of what happened with her past, because of everything that went wrong, all of the pain, all of the trauma, all of the slavery bullshit. She's scared of them, and it like put her back into that kind of state. But we also see that when she's like not held back by that, she can be a badass. We see her killing those guys late into the episode, and we see that she is very strong-willed, and but she is also very scared. She's a very traumatized person who's very emotional, and you could tell she loves Hera a lot, like extremely. You could tell that honestly with their first interaction. Like the instant she saw Hera and got super upset because of Hera leaving her for the Inquisition, it's like you could tell, it's like, oh yeah, these two were a thing. And then it very blatantly reveals that, oh yeah, these two were a thing. it, it's practically telling us that, oh, they have fucked. Like, notably. They were very much a couple. Like, not even like subtly, not even um lightly. Like, they were very into each other, and you can tell that by their interactions. And I like stuff like that. But I know like so little about their characters, and I just feel like we're pushing into something that I need to know more about them for. And then we have like a lot of these other characters, and I know practically nothing about them. I know, like, I could not tell you a single thing about Fairbanks other than he has kind of a fun personality. I could tell you even less about Roland or oh god, what's his name? I have the list up here because I'm bad with names sometimes. Um, Lachlan. Oh, he's like this tough Lord of Fortune dwarf, and he's like very like walled up towards other people, but he's going to definitely be a super loyal fighter and friend eventually. Um, but it's like I know nothing about him other than he's a Lord of Fortune. It's like I just don't have any context for his character whatsoever. Quidian is like cute and fun, and she has a great personality, but again, we just know nothing about her. And that I know it's 6 episodes. I understand this is a 6 episode series, and you do kind of have to have things go a little quicker, but I've seen other 6 episode shows. Miss Marvel, I believe Obi-Wan Kenobi was a 6 episode show. I know those are live action, those are like double length comparatively, but still. It's like, honestly, this episode should have been getting to know the characters and getting this mission. The mission should not have started to be like carried out until next episode. We really are rushing through this. And again, I know this is meant as a companion piece. It's clear it's not meant to be like this full like series. Um but it's still like, as someone who watches these shows for the story, for the characters, for the pacing, it's like it's a little jarring to have it like just rush through everything so quick. The only thing I can think of is that this mission is supposed to be like a stepping stone for everything to come after that. And that it's like whatever happens with this mission, it's going to be setting into motion the rest of the episodes. But if that's the case, then this mission should have been just in this first episode, and that's it. Like, if you have like 2 episodes dedicated to this mission, then the other 4, it's like, are going to be the aftermath of that. It's like that takes away some time that you could have spent to delve into the aftermath of that. I just feel like this is. It's just hard to do this kind of thing, I feel like, with only 6 regular length episodes. It just. It feels like there's not enough time to really do as much as they're wanting to do. But maybe the future episodes will like slow things down a bit. We'll have to see. This episode did feel really rushed. That being said, I like how gay it is right off the start. Like it just like did not hold back on that, because it's not even just Miriam and Hira who are like aggressively, openly, very fucking gay for each other. Like, they're already talking about retirement options, having a cheese farm and shit. But like, come on, you saw that training scene with Roland and oh my god, I am never going to remember his name. Lachlan. You saw that like little smirk he gave him when he said, I don't have a girlfriend. You saw the way Lachlan responded to that. there's something going on there. I think they're setting up for them to be together. I think. Um, which I mean, I'm all for that. Have a gay female and a gay male relationship, equal opportunity gay. Now we just need non-binary characters, which I know can be a thing because my character in Dragon Age: The Veilguard is non-binary. And I actually get to like have discussions and dialogues about that. So yeah, I know that can be a thing. Um, at least in Veilguard. I don't know about the previous games, but yeah. I like that they're touching on the political aspects of this all and the the racial problems that deal with like the racism and slavery and whatnot. Um, it's a theme and topic that a lot of games these days touch on, and a lot of games of like previous generations have as well, but especially these days, it's just become like a bigger part of like how do I word this? The public consciousness, I guess. And it's a good thing that people are thinking about like this kind of stuff for like real life and are like thinking about the terribleness of it and how intensely fucked up all of that is. But you have these games and a show like this based off these games touching on it. And it's good. It feels like again, they could delve a lot more into it with more time. Like this didn't even need to be that much longer of a series. Like just make it 10 episodes. I think that would have worked. Then they could have paced it out better and had things like work a lot better. It's the 6 episode run that, especially with all these episodes being like normal 22-minute runtime, it's like it just doesn't leave them time to do everything they want to do. That's my big issue here. Um, the action was good. The art and animation is good. All the voice acting, obviously. The music is fine. I had no issue with any of that. Um, yeah, it's like this is good, but it's nothing great. It doesn't like really stand out and doesn't like make like any kind of big statement with animation. But it's definitely worth having checked out. And so we just got to hope that the future episodes kind of rectify these problems that I have and make things run a little bit smoother. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe this is just going to be how the series is, and I'm just going to kind of have to deal with it. But also, while I watch, if I like talk about like any of the lore or whatnot, or um, anything like that, it's like I'm going based off of what I remember, like from Veilguard, because I like paid partial attention to the lore with Veilguard. Um, I could pay more attention to it, but I tend to pay more attention to the current story of what's going on and the character stories and stuff, rather than like, the deep seated lore of the entire world. So if there's a couple things I do get a little off or wrong or whatnot, um, feel free to correct me. Just be nice about it. Like, for example, I said, like, at the beginning of it, they were in Navarra. And I said, like, oh, that's where the Mornwatch is from, right? If I am wrong about that, please just be nice about it when you tell me. Because I believe that's correct, though, because I believe, like, Navarra is, like, brought up all the time with the Mornwatch quests in, in Veilguard, with, the professor, whose name is escaping me right now, and I don't know fucking why. But So, if I'm just a little off about anything or whatnot, please feel free to say something. Just be nice. But yeah, they mentioned a lot of stuff that I definitely recognize with this. Like, For example, if you didn't know what the Lords of Fortune are, they're basically treasure hunters. They're treasure hunters. In Veilguard, specifically, at least the group that we like kind of follow, are very, like Indiana Jones almost. Like they make sure that the treasures they loot are like returned to their proper owners and stuff, if they can be. And they're very, ethical about it. They're ethical treasure hunters. And that's something you don't see a lot of. Though I don't know like how this guy specifically is. I don't think we heard about any of the other factions that I know of. Like I don't think it mentioned the Mornwatch at all. Or the Veil Jumpers weren't mentioned at all. I'm trying to think of what the others are off the top of my head. Um, I don't think the Antivan Crows would be mentioned at all. I think that's like, I don't know, that feels like something that just wouldn't be mentioned in here. Same with the, what are they called? The Shadow Dragons. Because those are very much location specific groups, I feel like. And those groups are, I don't feel like those locations would be around this area, so wherever this is taking place exactly. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little off with things, but again, it's like the more deep lore I'm not like as familiar with. I can tell you about more of the main story stuff with Veilguard, but still. Um, but like on the map, for example, it also showed Solus's name, which is interesting because Solus is a character in both Inquisition and Veilguard, and so that's interesting. Um, and I think it mentioned one character who I think was mentioned in Veilguard already, but I don't know if she's been shown, that like Cassandra Pendergast or whatever her name was. I think she's been mentioned once or twice in Veilguard, but I don't think she's actually been like shown in it. I think she's from previous games. I don't know though. I don't have a lot of context. But the Inquisition was mentioned and how the Inquisition broke up afterwards and all, which is brought up quite a lot in Veilguard. So yeah, um, there's a lot of lore in here, which if you know the lore, you're definitely going to understand a lot more than me, who's only played the most recent game, really. But yeah, I've been enjoying this. I'm having an absolute blast with this game, and so far this series is good. Like I said, nothing great, nothing spectacular. It has a lot of good to it, but it also has some things that I'm not super fond of, and that's going to happen a lot of times. Sometimes I'll have a series that I'm mixed on, but it also could just be this first episode. So we're going to continue and see what we have in store for this. I doubt we're going to end up dropping this or anything. We're going to get all the way through. I'm practically like guaranteeing it. But yeah, if the pacing is really the only issue, I can get through that. The only really big issue. Um, I'm very interested to see how this ends up going down. It could go either way, honestly. It could end up working out like by the skin of their teeth, or it could end up going really wrong. I don't know. But yeah, um, we will continue to check this out as we go along, and I would love to hear your thoughts. Even if my thoughts have been scrambled as hell this reaction, clearly, especially in the afterthoughts here. Tell me your thoughts on this first episode of Dragon Age Absolution down in the comments below. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.